DCEU fans plan to sabotage Black Panther's Rotten Tomatoes score and spoil fans. And seriously, what the hell? This is hilarious that I'm not even sure it's real, like it might be a joke. But let's get into it. Let's read the article and see what's going on here. What are they up to right now? Just under a month before Black Panther hits theaters, it comes out February, I think, 16th, that weekend, here in the United States. I don't know if the release date's different in other countries, but angry DC Extended Universe fans are turning their sights on the film with the hopes of destroying its Rotten Tomatoes score and spoiling fans. Uh-oh. Some are frustrated at the forthcoming release. DC fans are notorious for voicing their anger, starting multiple petitions since the inception of the DC Extended Universe. They've even gone as far as to suggest there's a bias in favor of Marvel films. I'm a DC movie fan, and although I also watch all the Marvel movies, I thought all of them were at least decent, but some of them I thought were kind of overrated. And I'll give you a controversial example that's going to go against popular opinion. Thor Ragnarok I thought was a decent movie, but they hyped that movie up so much, like it was the best movie ever, and I thought that was just flat out just hype. But anyways, let's keep going to the article. Now these disgruntled DCEU fans, I'm getting back to the article, they've created a Facebook event titled Give Black Panther a Rotten Audience Score on Rotten Tomatoes, with the hopes of ruining the film's audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as purposely spoiling the film for Marvel fans. Now, I went to another website that covered the same thing, and I clicked on the link. It says that the event is from a Facebook group called Down with Disney's Treatment of Franchises and Its Fanboys. I'm on Inverse right now. When I click on it, it says, sorry, this content isn't available right now. Basically, I don't know, the group and the event is down, or at least it is when I'm clicking on it. So that makes me think that fan backlash or something caused these people to either get rid of the group, or maybe they're trying to be secretive. I don't know what's going on. I'm maybe leaping too much into it, but they took this down, and I think that's, I don't know, because I know like the reception to a lot of people of this is like, they think it's hilarious, or they're attacking this campaign, you know, with fervor, with passion. According to their statement, this campaign is meant to serve as a takedown of Black Panther as retaliation against Disney for reportedly paying off the critics that hurt DC Comics on film. Now, I don't agree with that, you know, Marvel's paying off critics. I could be wrong. I don't know these people. I'm not an insider, but I just think that's way too extreme, because the critics gave glowing reviews to Wonder Woman, which is a DC movie, right? So why would they let Wonder Woman get a free pass or not pay off critics to trash that? Meanwhile, every other DC movie is getting, you know, raked over the coals. But anyways, this doesn't look to be the group's main thrust, though, as they also suggested they'll be doing this with Avengers Infinity War set to hit theaters this May, as well as Marvel's Netflix shows. The group has also seemingly taken responsibility for the low audience rating on Star Wars The Last Jedi, another Disney release. Disney, as you know, owns Marvel now, and so they're the parent company over all the MCU films. That last sentence is interesting to me, because Star Wars The Last Jedi does have a lot lower audience score of fans than the critics. The critics, most of them love Star Wars The Last Jedi, but a lot of fans, including me right here, we had some problems with Star Wars The Last Jedi. And that's why the Rotten Tomatoes score was low. However, Rotten Tomatoes released a statement saying that Star Wars The Last Jedi's low score, audience score, was legit. They themselves are saying it's not bots. It was actual legit fans voicing their unhappiness with this movie. Now, here's what I think. I think that whether or not this effort to, you know, bust Black Panther in the kneecaps, whether it's legit or a joke or whatever, I don't think it's going to work. I think that if there are a lot of people who love this movie, it's not going to be taken down by this campaign. I think people are going to see it anyway, and word of mouth will help it. So I don't think that Black Panther, the people who made Black Panther, or Marvel or Disney, need to be worried about this. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll get to the release date and the audience score will be tanked, and I'll be like, oh, I was wrong. But I just don't think that the box office or anything is going to be hurt, because I think that a lot of people are going to love this movie. But regardless of whether or not this can work, I hope it doesn't, because if it does, this is going to set kind of an alarming precedent going forward to mobilize people to have the power to take down franchises out of pettiness, right? Like a movie, whether or not it's good or bad, if it's bad, it should fail, on its own, merits, organically. Not because there's a campaign to trash it, because people are mad at the franchise or mad at the people who made it, or they want to get payback for what's happening to their movies. Because these are allegedly DC fans. Not all or most DC fans. I'm a DC fan, I would never do something like this. But imagine if this worked, it's weaponized against DC movies too. I mean, it'll just cause retaliation if it were to work. All these Marvel people or other people in general will be like, well, you took down our movie like this, we're going to take down yours. And it's arguably they might have already done it. I mean, it's no secret that DC movies get trashed a lot by fans. But I'm not going to say it's because of a campaign like this, because fans aren't the only ones trashing DC movies. A lot of critics are, I feel, unfairly contributing to like a toxic kind of narrative about DC movies, which fans the flames. It's legitimately a lot of people in the press who are supposed to be unbiased journalists totally trashing these movies more than they need to. Now, I'm not saying DC movies don't have faults, or if you don't like a DC movie, it means you're biased. What I'm saying is a lot of the hatred and dislike towards DC movies is so high that it's ridiculous. It's like there are people who hate these, journalists included, people who are supposed to be high-minded or fair, that hate these movies the way you would hate your ex who cheated on you or the bully who beat you up in high school. It's like, this isn't a person who destroyed your life. It's just a movie that you watch and you just didn't like it. Like if you look at other franchises like Transformers, right? There are people who don't like the Transformers movies, but you don't see critics and fans going on and on and on with such glee about, attacking these movies and hoping they fall the way they do for DC movies. And that's one of the things that irritates me about the treatment from the press and from a lot of fans about DC movies in general. It's not that they don't like it. They don't have to like it. But I feel like the way that they're disliking it is just, they're just being, it gets to the point of pettiness and nastiness, which I'm just not a fan of. But anyways, that's my 2 cents, or maybe my $2.50, because I went on a bit long about this topic, about the campaign to take down Black Panther and maybe Marvel films and Netflix shows in general.